Welcome back, everyone, to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. I thought that the interview with Peter Dickinson really gave, hopefully, you and me a sense of how critically important this Ukrainian invasion into Russia is. From a military standpoint, from a momentum standpoint, from an attitudinal standpoint, from a political standpoint, both in Ukraine positively and in Russia negatively. I think this could be a potential turning point in this Russia-Ukraine war, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And I think the fact that this red line that constantly, as Peter had mentioned, has been proven to not be a red line, and that the Putin has not come back the way that he said he would with NATO involvement, with war munitions, with war armaments, with F-16s, and now with this Ukrainian invasion into Russia, proves that he's what we've thought in the past, that he's a lot of talk. I think whether it is a potential to trade prisoners of war or trade land or humiliate the Russian army and Putin, or settle scores, provide more defense, whatever the rationale is. And I do think that there is a potential, just like in lots of other military campaigns, of potentially encircling the enemy, such that the captured land and people might be greater than just the initial sense of what could happen would be. I also think that there could be other incursions and invasions, and Russia undoubtedly is considering that. And so therefore, this border that they've got to defend has got to be a lot longer than it currently is. And I think that to the extent that they take forces off of areas that they have been concentrating, there could be a Ukrainian attack back in the south or the southeast, which would have Russia going to several places all at once. And so I think this really could be a critically important turning point. And I guess the bottom line for us in the West and NATO is I think we should support it. I think we should support it the way we've been supporting in the past, with money and with munitions and with armaments. But I also think we should remove any restrictions that continue to exist that don't allow Ukraine to make use of Western supplied armaments, equipment, munitions in invading Russia. Because I think the argument that Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, has made in regards to the fact that it's just not acceptable to have this area just across the border that can constantly shell and not launch attacks against Ukrainian soil and be out of bounds such that they can't counterattack. That just can't exist. It's impossible to fight with one, if not two hands tied behind your back. So I think that this could be a game changer, and I think we need to watch it very closely. I think we need to encourage Ukraine. I think we need to supply Ukraine. I think we need to support Ukraine, and I think we need to take away any and all restrictions on Ukraine and what they can do in this invasion, if not these invasions of Russia, with Western supplied stuff, money, equipment, munitions, etc. I also think that this other topic that we talked about, that the world's attention has been on Israel and Palestine and Gaza and Hamas, etc., Hezbollah, is true. And while that war and what happened on October 7th of last year is despicable and horrible and disgusting and every other word you can find about it, and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is clearly a major issue as well. And so we have to pay attention on it. But we cannot take all the attention off of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We just can't. We have to be able to keep both issues, both wars, both situations in our strategic minds and in our monetary fiscal supply and in our political interests, geopolitical interests. So, bottom line, good luck, Ukraine. Keep at it. That's our show for tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I remind you, I'm on every Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. on 960 a.m. You can stream me online, even from Kyiv, Ukraine, at www.saga960am.ca. All my podcasts and videos are available on my website, briancrombie.com, and they all get put on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads, YouTube, X, as soon as the show goes to air, and all the podcasts on several different podcast servers. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a great night. Good night, everybody.